shrubbery behind you. So you live on like an estate or something.
Yes.
My estate!
I've got a cigarette in a holder, like...
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for Hydra Records.
That's right.
The punk rock scene.
That's right.
Today we are prepping for the show tomorrow. There's quite a few parties involved. Between Caven, the Zozobra supergroup, Converge, and Old Man Gloom, we are sharing a lot of members. So we're having a lot of crossover between our rehearsals today. I think Nate is doing the most sets. He's in all four of those bands at some point or another throughout the night, so he's got a long day.
Check!
Is that loud enough?
Sure, that'll work.
But we are all gathering together for this event tomorrow to raise money for Caleb's family, and it also felt like a really good way to commemorate and celebrate his life. And I also think it's, at least in America, a cultural tendency to see death as a wholly negative thing. And while his absence is very painful, I think it's also important that we do something that's celebratory. And all of us being together and all of this becoming the big community event that it's become feels like a really great way to pay tribute to him.
Old Man Gloom has almost been a band for 20 years, and Caven has been a band for 23 years. And I don't know if you have people in your life that you grew up with and you grow apart, and like, you know, dudes become townies and get into motorcycles, and some people stay involved with music and you have some sort of connection with them. But anyway, the point is that we've been a band for so long and we all still really get along and have a lot in common, and you know, it really does feel like extended family.
Playing with these guys who, you know, you guys have been a band for, I don't even know how long, a long time. You guys have been a band a long time.
We started Caven in 1995, and Caleb joined the band at the end of 97. So this show that we're doing tomorrow night is going to be the first Caven show without Caleb in 20 years, which is pretty surreal.
Yeah.
I lived right behind the Hydra head office with Aaron Harris from ISIS and Santos from OMG, so we were all just like together all the time, hanging out. We'd have breakfast over at the Hydra head office on Sunday mornings, and I remember particularly meeting Aaron Turner for the first time, and we were at this sort of like famous stop in Alston, this place Big Burrito, which has since closed, but we were in there getting burritos, and Turner walked in. I just remember him just being like, "Oh, hey, what's up, new guy?" And I was just kind of like, what the fuck, this big, tall, smelly kid with dreadlocks, like, what the hell is going on here? This is the guy that puts your records out? He looks like a fucking gutter punk or something. And I love him. We have since become great friends, and you know, it's pretty wild thinking back to those early days of just sort of meeting all those guys and sort of becoming acquainted into what was about to be like a pretty huge part of my life.
Caleb's family was extremely important to him. He was one of the first people in our group of friends to have children, and he immediately, once he started his family, he really prioritized that. He, you know, would turn down tours and, you know, just keep his schedule, his music schedule, very lean so that he could, you know, really focus on his family and providing for them. And knowing that that was such a priority for him, I think made it even more significant for us to try to help the family that he left behind.
The music's haunted, and there's no getting around that. However, he feels very alive when we play his music. And I'm constantly saying to these guys, we're trying to get these songs together. I'm like, I'm trying to do what Caleb did here, or I'm trying to make my guitar sound the way Caleb did it on that recording here, or remember what Caleb did here, blah, blah, blah. So we're trying to like almost mimic what he did. It's therapeutic. I mean, it's bittersweet. Someone else want to take it?
All of us know that that's just an impossible thing to replace someone, especially someone with such a distinct voice and a distinct way of playing.
I mean, we all loved him so much, you know, and it takes all of us to try to replace him just a little bit. You know?
I mean, also, our bands have been like family for a very long time. Like, just regardless, music completely aside from it, like everybody just feels like family. So it was just, in my mind, there was no question about any of it. It was just like, we have to do this. It's just what you do. You fucking take care of your family.
You know, it's funny, in like the lead up to this, when I knew I was gonna have to learn these Old Man Gloom songs, I was listening to a fuckload of Cave-In and like really kind of obsessively listening to Cave-In, but I couldn't listen to Old Man Gloom and I couldn't listen to Zozobra. It really took me several weeks before I could like conquer my own fear of like what I would feel when I started listening to that stuff. And when I finally did, it was, you know, it was heavy, but good, you know, cathartic, really, like, you know, we've got to start to do this stuff. We've got to start to feel whatever is going to come at us.
I'm trying to look at the show as an opportunity to help the family heal, help ourselves heal, and help everybody who loved Caleb that's involved with this heal in some way. And, you know, kind of going back to what you were saying about how does it feel to sort of step into these songs and do this. Well, this is what we can do. This is what we've been doing for years now. And, you know, this is sort of what we're able to contribute to just one small part of the healing for this family, you know. And, you know, playing Caleb's bass parts, you screaming his lyrics, I know I'll never have that voice and I'll never have that tone and precision and power in those fingers, but it's forcing me to kind of figure out how to do my own thing with it. And, you know, I'm thanking him for that.
How many times was I like, how the fuck did he sing this and play it at the same time? It's not possible.
Oh, yeah. Trepanning is just like a word vomit whirlwind. I do not envy you.
We're going over together. This time, alone, my friend. Chilling at the bed. Truly blood I spend. To the end of the bed. Where the blood is shed, I won't be watching you die to the end.
together again as ISIS for this reason definitely felt like the right thing to do. I know we talked about this a lot because there has obviously been some aftermath to our dissolution some years ago, and some of us wanted to continue on and others didn't, and it never really felt like the right thing to do or the appropriate time. And doing it for money, for me, at this point in my life, didn't feel like the right thing to do, even if, there have been opportunities there. But to do, I think if there's any reason for us to come together again to play music, this is it.
I actually, and this is true, I was like, when I saw that, I was like, there has to be another band called Celestial. Isn't there another band called Celestial? I really hope that at some point we find out that there's another band called Celestial, and then we have to get a new flyer and bill it differently.
This whole thing, I can't speak for anybody else, but the entire process of making this show happen and playing music with you guys and everything has been like really therapeutic and helpful. I don't know. I wish I had a more eloquent way of saying it, but this whole thing, like Steve said, it's to help Caleb's family heal, but I think selfishly it's for all of us too, and it feels like it's been really helpful for everyone. So, yeah. I hope.
I think it's beautiful, and I think it speaks volumes about how much of a community this really is. I mean, this has shown me that this is a community, not just all of us who play together, but also the people who have been impacted by the music that we've all collectively been a part of. I mean, we're all in our late 30s, or some of us even our mid to late 40s at this point. And I think a lot of the audience have grown up with us. These are people who encountered our music at a formative time in their life, and they're now adults and have their own families. So in some way, this is evidence of how music is incredibly powerful, how it shapes people's lives, how it brings people together. It is heartening. It's something that's beautiful that's come out of something that's really would otherwise be pretty hard to bear.
Ever tell your friends and your family and your loved ones that you love them enough? Say it every day, every hour, every minute of the day. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you all. Thank you very much. Thanks for being here.